Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to the 1010s channel. Today we are doing relationship again. Um, I'm noticing that since we did the 1010s that make God-fearing women, that make them have delays in marriages, um, it's been kind of, what about the men? What about the men? It interest you to note that men also have issues with marriage. The only difficulty with men is that they end up with the wrong woman. Not that they don't find the woman, but they end up with the wrong woman after losing the opportunity to have the right woman. So we're going to learn also about 10 things that make God fearing men less eligible to women, to good women, to godly women. Now, um, invite somebody, subscribe to the channel. But after you are through with this place, you always have 10 more things that you know about life and about the things that are best for us. Indeed, our first one, will not take much time, is that any man, no matter who he is, if he has a child or two outside of wedlock, it reduces his chances of getting the right woman drastically. Most women, and I say without fear of equivocation, most women want a man that is not having a child outside of marriage. Most women who have not had children themselves. So if any um, bachelor who wants a woman who has not given birth and has given birth, it will make him less eligible to that woman. For the one who has already given birth, your children and my children and our children, great. And the second thing is that, and this is very important. I know when we were in school, especially those of us who went to boys' school, you have funny things like, oh, a man must be fearful and smelly and the rest. Please, those people who crack that joke, they pour almost a whole bottle of perfume on themselves when they are going to woo women. No man goes to a woman consciously aware that he doesn't smell good, but it happens, especially in a Christian setting, because for the men who are used to hunting for women, they know the tools of the trade. But for many God fearing men who have been used to praying, campaigning, and evangelism and the rest, the tools of wooing a godly woman is usually not in their arsenal. And one of the greatest determination when it comes to somebody liking you is how you smell. In fact, according to scientists, we usually marry people whose body odor is less offensive to us. I repeat, it's been proven scientifically that most of the time the people we marry are people whose body odor are less offensive to us. In other words, we find people whose body odor are less offensive, more attractive. So it is completely unacceptable for a young man who wants to woo a woman to be smelly and sweaty all over the place just because you grew up together, just because you're in the same church. You will not cut it. It will make you less desirable, no matter your height, no matter wherever you find yourself. You must smell good to attract the right partner. So that's the second thing that if you don't do, you will have a less chance of getting the right woman. Now, the third one is that which makes men less desirable, is men who propose to girls who earn more than they do. This one is completely true. It doesn't matter whether she's tongue speaking, demon chasing, or whatever. No woman finds a man that she earns more than desirable. In fact, it takes a lot of grace for a woman to actually find a man that she earns more money than desirable. If your wife agreed to marry you while she was earning more than you and could not foresee in the near future that you earn more than her, then you are very lucky. Indeed, many of the women who accept men who are earning less than them do so in anticipation that within the shortest possible time, um, things will change. Otherwise, it won't happen. So, proposing to a woman who earns substantially more than you will make you lose. far less desirable before her, even though you are God fearing and demon chasing. So that was the what do you call it? The third one. Now the fourth one, which makes bachelors less desirable to women, is a bachelor who has the tendency to propose to many women within the same vicinity. In other words, no matter how desirable you are, especially if you're in church, no matter how handsome you are as a young man, no matter how audacious, no matter how Holy Ghost feel, when the women realize that this proposal that has come to them, that has made them feel special, you also went to propose to Amma and you have proposed to Ajua. Now, that will make you lose your desirability before all of them at once. So when it comes to proposals, don't go fishing. It's one of the things that men do, and it's very dangerous. Don't go fishing because the very lady who has told you to wait for some time may be in love with you already. So don't go trying out others. Actually, most of the time, before if you're in the same close proximity to a woman, before you propose to her, she's already marked you. So and women are extremely smart when it comes to that. She's already marked you already. Otherwise, she'll find subtle ways of frustrating you and of letting you know that she's a no-go area. Before she allows you to have the courage to propose to her, that means that you are worthy of the proposal. So that is the fourth one. Now, the fifth one, which makes a man very, very less desirable, is a man with no job. Actually, a jobless man is a very less desirable man. It doesn't matter your degrees that you have. You may have degrees more than a thermometer has. If you are jobless, a woman considers that as a man who does not have the right confidence to determine what he really wants. Because a man is mostly about what he earns, what positions he occupies at the job. That is what a man is about. That's what our psyche is about. For a man who is jobless is a man who is not making the choice, his choices decision. It's a man who is not himself. And the woman does not want to give herself to you at that state, not to mention the fact that she will have to be looking after you, which means that she's not sure whether you are marrying her because of what she's doing for you or because of you liking her for who she is. And it will make you extremely less desirable. In fact, this is not a cliche. It has been tested. I watched a documentary on BBC. A man came around, the same man, and most of the women were giving him below five, for disability. That same man was given an expensive suit. He actually was given a Cadillac. And when the very same man, when he got down, the same women were giving him, didn't realize it was giving him, and were giving him 10 over 10 and 9 over 10. But the mere fact that he looked successful, it made him desirable. And initially, when they looked haggard and dejected and jobless, it made him less desirable. So that was the fifth one. Now, as the sixth one is bachelors who do not take good grooming seriously. Please, if you are leaving a beard, trim it nicely. You should looking good is not a function of money. It's a function of knowing what to write, the right thing to wear, wearing what fits you best. It's a function of actually looking your best, and it means smelling right, wearing the right kinds of clothing that brings you out properly. That's good grooming. Shaving your head regularly, not leaving it bushy all over the place. Looking presentable. It's very important to a woman how her man looks, and you need to look presentable because you are her glory, and her glory cannot be dim. Yeah. So that is number six. Um, and then it could be seven. I seem to be mixing them up. A bachelor. Another thing which also makes a bachelor less very, 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 very undesirable to women is a bachelor who has a reputation of having a thing or two, for small girls. A partner that small girls do not respect. No, 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 no responsible woman wants to have anything to do with a man who small girls. Girls that respect her don't respect. No, Just as respect is very important to a man, people respecting her man is very important to her. Therefore, if you are the kind of man that small girls can kind of, you know, because of your unclear relationship with them, small girls can just, you know, look down on you, say anything I taught you. No one will find you desirable. No God fearing one will find you desirable. Indeed, um, bachelors who have a reputation for depending on women. You may be a Joshua, but there are these new people who have come up who have the ambition of starting a church, who, in that ambition for years, never work, never get employed. The idea of serving God is to move from unemployment into bishop. And such people depend on women and drain them, telling them all kinds of things. God fearing women find such men very, very, very undesirable. Men who have a tendency to depend on women instead of working hard for themselves. So that would be eight. Now, nine, um, women find men who are verbally abusive extremely undesirable. Men that are prone to insults, men that do not watch what they say to a woman, they find that man very, very undesirable. So that's the one. No matter your stature, no matter who you are, if you are fond of head of severally, speaking, talking down to women, women will find it very, very undesirable. Lastly, remember, we are doing these things because I have seen lately you call for prayers and there are men that come to the prayer line for wives, for spouses. You wonder why are they not? Many of them have been rejected severally and they don't understand why they've been rejected. They are God fearing, they love the Lord. These are some of the things, actually. These are some of the reasons why they have been found to be less desirable, even though they are God fearing. And then the last one, and this one, especially for women that are very, you know, purposeful. Women that are very purposeful and women that want to achieve something in life find it very undesirable when the man that is proposing to them seems to be visionless and clueless about life. Has no vision, no mission, no ambition. I mean, he's just there, actually. Doesn't seem to have a care in the world. Kind of a carefree person. That is understood by women, matured women, godly women, as being somebody who is not responsible. And any clue, sign of irresponsibility reduces a man from eligible to a less eligible or something or ineligible bachelor. So these are the 10 things that if a man does, 10 attitudes that if a man has, 10 behaviors that if a man shows and he's a bachelor, he'll be less desirable to the kind of woman he wants. Such men usually end up with women who themselves have less opinion of themselves and are looking for just a man that they can just be with. And they have very terrible marriages because they get a woman they don't like and the woman gets the man they didn't like and they don't like each other. They all have a marriage they don't like, and then they live a life they don't like, and end up dying at the time they don't like dying. They never plan to die. You can put it that way. So God bless you even as we do this. And if you're a man, please make sure you don't fall in any of these things. Actually, if you can do something about it, and you'll be extremely, extremely desirable to the woman you want. Remember, every man, a woman in this world has somebody who might like him or her, depending on who you are talking about. The problem is whether the one you like likes you. So, if you want the people you like to like you, you have to make sure you don't fall into any of these categories. Because just as you like them for the good things about them, they also want to like you because these things are not in your life. God bless you. Subscribe and remain blessed. Thank you for watching. God bless.